This is WBN News, Frostproof Florida, with a special report.
Okay, the judge has opened the envelope. He is now reading the verdict. Question 1, as I just reviewed with you, is what is going to me? Did Miss Carroll prove by preponderance of the evidence that Eugene Carroll suffered more than nominal damages as a result of Trump's publication of the misstatements or the defamation on June 21st and June 22nd, 2019? The foreperson is a woman. I should note there are only 2 women on this jury. She did not put herself. And we still don't have an answer. I'm waiting to hear what's going on in the courtroom. But I want to note for you guys as we're waiting, remember, this jury is anonymous, and Kaplan has urged them to be anonymous not only with us, as he has implemented procedures to ensure their anonymity, but also with each other to not even use their real names. So when the foreperson signs this verdict, she will not do that. I'm sorry, we do have a verdict. Eugene Carroll did suffer more than nominal damages as a result of Mr. Trump's publication of these 2 June 2019 statements. The first amount for compensatory damages for her emotional pain and anguish is $7.3 million. The amount for the compensatory damages for the reputation repair program is $11 million. We're now moving on to the questions about whether Trump acted with malice. Remember, the questions have to be answered in the affirmative to get to a question of punitive damages. We are still waiting for that answer. As you wait for those answers, do you have the act? You go to Alice. I'm sorry, Mr. Trump acted with malice in making the first of those statements. That's the June 21st, 2019 statement at 5:17 p.m. in which he denied it for the first time. And similarly, we are waiting to hear whether in making that yes. And June 22nd, 2019, he did also act maliciously or out of hatred or ill will in defaming her on that day. And here comes a punitive damages award of $65 million. So $65 million in punitives, $11 million in the reputation repair program, and $7.3 million in the emotional harm, for a total of $83.3 million. That's a high 8-figure award. I had predicted we'd be high 8 figures or early 100 million. Certainly less money, I think, that Eugene Carroll's lawyers had hoped, but $83.3 million is nothing to sneeze at. I also want to point out to our viewers that the New York Attorney General in the civil fraud case across the street is asking for disgorgement of $370 million. If they award the Attorney General $370 million over there, and he also has to pay $83.3 million to Eugene Carroll, that will wipe out the $400 million in cash that Trump has proclaimed he has, and many people doubt he has that much liquidity. What Trump is really dreading is a judgment in this case and the AG's case that would wipe out his cash, that would force him to liquidate assets to be able to pay both of those judgments. That would really put the lie to his proclamations of endless wealth. It's the punitive damages that speaks the most. So we know that Miss Carroll's expert, Professor Humphreys, who not only testified in Eugene Carroll's first trial, but also testified in the Rudy Giuliani defamation trial that was brought by Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. This expert testified that in order to repair and to basically compensate Eugene Carroll, the amount would go anywhere from $7.3 to $12 million. That's why we heard Robbie Kaplan get up in closing arguments on behalf of Eugene Carroll and say $12 million for both, which would have been the 24. That in and of itself means that the jury listened to the expert. Donald Trump tried to have his own expert witness testify as to the damages models in this case. He was denied by Judge Coppin for a myriad of reasons, including the fact that he was too late to the dance to be able to put on an expert, which just goes to show how important good lawyering is, especially when you have a high-stakes defamation trial like this. The punitive damages award in the amount of $65 million means that this jury listened to the totality of the evidence and said, you know what? We think that that's an amount of money that is going to basically punish Donald Trump. Punitive damages. We want to punish him. We want to deter others from repeating that conduct. The biggest open-ended question that none of us can answer, except for the former president of the United States, is $65 million in punitive damages enough for him to stop defaming Eugene Carroll?